Good afternoon. Okay, welcome to DPWH Sorsogon Second DEO Beds and Awards Committee. Today is March 5, 2025. Our schedule for today is a pre-bid conference for the following projects. 25 FL 0045, construction of Mabini Rangas Road, Juban, Sorsogon. 25 FL 0047, construction of road package 1 Barangay San Vicente to Barangay Santa Barbara, Barangay San Isidro, Barangay Porog, Bulusan, Sorsogon, and 25 FL 0048, construction of road package 1 Salvacion, Santa Magdalena, Cawayan, Patag, Irosin, Sorsogon, Santa Magdalena, and Irosin, Sorsogon. Attendance for this pre-bid conference are the following: Levi Pura Jr., back chairman; Erwin S. Encinares, back member; Joanna C. Calagos, back member; Rizal J. Rocha from planning; and D. Ani Albay, IT representative. Mr. Chair, meron na po tayong quorum at wala po tayong present from our bidder.
Good afternoon. Since we already have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows: basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, questions and comments from the bidders and replies back and other representatives of procuring entity, and summary of proceedings including bid bulletins to be issued, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Rizal Joy.
Thank you, sir. For the basic contract data of contract ID 25FL0045 with contract name construction of Mabini to Rangas Road, Juban, Sorsogon. Contract location, Juban, Sorsogon, with an approved budget of the contract of 57,900,000 pesos. Brief description: construction of roads. The source of funds DALCA FY 2025 with a contract duration of 268 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on March 20, 2025 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. Shown po is the sample of the bid quantities as well as the bid data sheet. For the minimum manpower requirement for the project manager, minimum years of senior experience 5 years, project engineer 5 years, materials engineer 3 years, safety health officer 1 year, general construction foreman 3 years. Moving on, we have the minimum equipment requirement. For the dump truck, required number of units is 3 units. Payloader 1 unit, bulldozer 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, backhoe with breaker 1 unit, vibratory roller 1 unit, water truck or pump 1 unit, plate compactor 1 unit, concrete vibrator 1 unit, concrete spreader 1 unit, concrete saw 1 unit, bar cutter 1 unit, joint sealer machine 1 unit, bar cutter 1 unit, cargo truck or service truck 1 unit, 1 bagger mixer 1 unit, and truck mounted crane 1 unit. Ito naman po ang ating special conditions of contract. We have here's the cover page of the plan for the construction of Mabini to Rangas Road, Juban, Sorsogon. We have the location map, vicinity map, and the key map of the said plan as well as the straight line diagram. We also have the typical roadway sections as well as the details for the open line canal. Moving on, we have the basic contract data for contract ID 25FL0047 with contract name construction of road package 1 Barangay San Vicente to Barangay Santa Barbara, San Isidro to Barangay Porog, Bulusan, Sorsogon. Contract location, Bulusan, Sorsogon, with an approved budget of contract of 144,750,000 pesos. Brief description: construction of roads. Source of fund is TAGA FY 2025 with a contract duration of 355 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on March 19, 2025 until 10 a.m. and the opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. Again po, yun po ang ating bill of quantities as well as the bid data sheet. For the minimum manpower requirement for The project manager, 5 years. Project engineer, 5 years. Materials engineer, 3 years. Safety health officer, 1 year. General construction foreman, 3 years. For the minimum equipment requirement, we have for the dump truck, required number of units is 2 units. Payloader, 1 unit. Bulldozer, 1 unit. Backhoe, 1 unit. Backhoe with breakers, 1 unit. Boom truck, 1 unit. Cutting outfit, 1 unit. Vibratory roller, 1 unit. Water truck or pump, 1 unit. For concrete vibrator, we have 2 units. Concrete screeder, 1 unit. Concrete saw, 1 unit. Bar cutter, 1 unit. Joint sealer machine, 1 unit. Bar bender, 1 unit. Turbo truck or service truck, 1 unit. Plant bagger mixer, 1 unit. Plate compactor, 1 unit. Truck mounted crane, 1 unit. And telescopic man lift, 1 unit. Yan po ang ating special conditions of contract. We have the cover page of the plan for the said project of the construction of road package from Barangay San Vicente to Barangay Santa Barbara to Barangay San Isidro to Barangay Porog, Bulusan, Sorsogon. We have the location map, key map, as well as the vicinity map of the said plan and the typical roadway sections as well as the details for the box photo. Next po, we have basic contract data for contract ID 25FL0048 with contract name, construction of road package 1, Salvacion, Santa Magdalena to Cawayan, Patag, Irosin, Sorsogon. Contract location, Santa Magdalena and Irosin, Sorsogon with an approved budget of the contract of 144,750,000 pesos. Brief description is construction of roads and the source of fund is TAGA-AFY 2025. With a contract duration of 340 calendar days, and cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos only. Submission of bids is scheduled on March 20, 2025 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. Shown po is the sample of the bill of quantities as well as the bid data sheet. All are downloadable through the DPWH website or the field jobs. Minimum manpower requirements, same as the earlier above mentioned. Project manager, 5 years. Project engineer, 5 years. Materials engineer, 3 years. Safety health officer, 1 year. General construction foreman, 3 years. Moving on, we have the minimum equipment requirement. For the dump truck, required number of units is 2 units. Payloader, 1 unit. Bulldozer, 1 unit. Backhoe, 2 units. Backhoe wheel mounted, 1 unit. Vibratory roller, 1 unit. Water truck or pump, 2 units. Plate compactor, 1 unit. Concrete vibrator, 1 unit. Concrete screeder, 1 unit. Concrete saw, 1 unit. Bar cutter, 1 unit. Joint sealer machine, 1 unit. Bar bender, 1 unit. Cargo truck or service truck, 1 unit. And 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit. Shown was the special conditions of the contract. We have the cover page of the same plan. Construction of road, package 1, Salvacion, Santa Magdalena to Cawayan, Patag, Irosin, Sorsogon. We have the vicinity map, location map, and key map as well as the straight line diagrams and typical roadway sections and typical details of the said plan.
Submission and receipt of bids. Bids should be submitted to the back on the date, time, and either at its physical address or through online submission specified in the instruction to bidders, through its bidders' duly authorized representative in a 2-envelope system, where the eligibility and technical requirements are enclosed in one envelope and the financial requirements in another envelope. Eligibility and technical envelope and financial envelope shall then be enclosed in one single envelope. Bid validity shall be 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second components of its bid. The procuring entity may request additional hard copies or electronic copies of the bid. However, failure of the bidders to comply with the said request shall not be a ground for disqualification. The procuring entity allows the submission of bids through online submission or any other electronic means. The bidder shall submit an electronic copy of its bid, which must be digitally signed. An electronic copy or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient back procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids. The procuring entity requires additional copies of the technical and financial documents. Each copy of the document shall also be enclosed in a separate envelopes marked as Copy 1 Technical Documents and Copy 1 Financial Documents. Both envelopes shall be enclosed in a single envelope marked Copy 1 Bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, the recipient bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic bid submission, not in compressed archive folders and are not password protected, are rejected. Improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes or not properly compressed and password protected will be accepted, provided that a bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC assumes no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or its premature opening as per Section 25.9 of the IRR. Electronic submission and receipt of bids. Meron po tayong two modes of submission of bid, either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa BAC Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon, 2nd DO, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids, yan po ay sa electronicbids_sorsogon2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Guidelines through electronic means. Use a two-factor security procedure consisting of an archive format compression and password protection to ensure security, integrity, and confidentiality of the bids submitted. Allows access to a password-protected bidding documents on opening date and time. The passwords for accessing the file will be disclosed by the bidders only during the actual bid opening, which may be done in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology. Capable of generating an audit trail of transactions to ensure security, integrity, and authenticity of bid submissions. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. The BAC Secretariat shall notify in writing all bidders whose bids it has received through its PhilJEP's registered physical address or official email address within 7 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Modification of bids. Bid modifications must be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. However, the bidder may submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. Withdrawal of bids. Letter of withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of the bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bid submission, bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Requirements of bidding documents. The following documents are posted in the DPWH websites and PhilJEPs to aid our contractors in preparation of their bids. The following documents are invitation to bidders, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid datasheet, drawings, bill of quantities, and sampled forms. Eligibility criteria. To be eligible to participate in the bidding of the said projects, a bidder must be a duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines, corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines, cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per Section 23.4.2 of the IRR. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in accordance with the guidelines issued by the GPPB as per Section 23.4.2.2 of the IRR. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. We encourage our bidders to enroll in the civil work application to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. However, if they have not yet enrolled in the CWA, these are the documents they have to submit. Class A legal documents, PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, Mayor's Permit TTI Tax Clearance. Number 2, Pickup License and Registration. Number 3, Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Number 4, Statement of single largest completed contract. Number 5, Computation of the NFCC. Number 6, Valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Number 7, Bid security. Number 8, Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, leased, or under purchase agreement. Number 9, Omnibus sworn statement duly notarized as per GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020. Eligibility requirements. All bidders shall upload and maintain in PhilJEPs a current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1 and 24.1 of the IRR. Class A legal documents. PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership, containing SEC Certificate of Registration, DTI Registration, Mayor's Permit, Business Permit, Tax Clearance, Audited Financial Statements. As per GPPB Resolution Number 15, Series 2021, lifting the suspension on the implementation of the mandatory submission of PhilJEP Certificate of Platinum Registration and Membership in competitive bidding and limited source bidding. All bidders are required to maintain a Platinum membership of PhilJEP Certificate of Registration. Class A technical documents. Statement of all ongoing contracts. Statement of single largest completed contract. Valid pickup license, special pickup license for joint venture agreements. Class A financial documents. Net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC. Class B, in case of joint venture, the joint venture agreement entered into parties must be attached. Legal eligibility requirements. Class A, tax clearance. As per Executive Order 398 Series of 2005, submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement, since substitution is not allowed under Section 34.2 of the IRR. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BIR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance, as per GPPB Resolution Number 1, Series of 2014. Recently expired Mayor's Permit, Business Permit shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the LGU. However, the renewed permit shall be submitted as post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the IRR. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Statement of single largest completed contract. The single largest completed contract completed should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The single largest completed contract's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, upon adjustment of current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. The statement of single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance, issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the constructor's performance evaluation system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board PCAB license. Bidders must have a valid PCAB license or a special PCAB license for joint ventures. PCAB license should indicate the registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and opening of bids. Bid security. Bidders have the option to choose their preferred form of bid security. Only one form of bid security is required to be submitted. For cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, 2%. For surety bond, callable upon demand, 5%, or you can use bid securing declaration. Please be guided of the GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 sa format ng bid securing declaration. Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration. Please be guided of the revised provision and revised penalties of the bid securing declaration as a form of bid security as per GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020. Omnibus Sworn Statement. Revised Omnibus Sworn Statement as per GPPB Resolution Number 16 should include the following clauses. Any omission of the said clauses shall be grounds for disqualifications. The clauses should include the non-inclusion in the blacklist, authenticity of documents, verification authority, signatories authority, disclosure of relations, responsibilities of bidders, labor laws and standards, non-payment any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration in relation to any procurement project or activity. In case of advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient grounds to constitute criminal liability. Second envelope, financial proposal. The second envelope shall contain bid form, summary of bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule, other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided of the GPPB Resolution Number 16, 2020 for the bid form. Detailed evaluation of bids. Unless the instruction to bidders specifically allows partial bids, those not providing all the required items shall be considered non-responsive. Placing no price is considered non-responsive. Specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. The purpose of the detailed evaluation of bids is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing the correct calculated prices of bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. The method, a non-discretionary criterion, shall be used which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids. For the detailed evaluation of bid, in case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and bid price in words, the bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity, the unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items, the actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders to all the bidders of our no contract rule, prohibition of communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of contract. For post-qualification, the purpose is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents, to be the lowest calculated responsive bid. The method, a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion which shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents by the lowest calculated bid. Other matters, in compliance with Department Order Number 28, Series of 2024, three-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services. Bidders are reminded of the classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons, as determined by the bank. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid, A. During eligibility screening and or shortlisting, B. During bid evaluation, C. During post-qualification. Enforcement of penalties. If a bidder commits any of the three major offenses, acts listed above 3 times within a year, and if these three offenses are of similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity, blacklisting of the suspended bidder 1 year. Bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. If a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses instances where more than 6 offenses occur within the said 1-year time frame, bidder may be subjected in an increased penalty resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years, as applicable, will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of the blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. Due process and implementation. The BAC and its technical working group will meticulously verify the monthly consolidated strike report or its updated version at each stage of the procurement process. In line with the department's commitment to its quality objective of providing quality, safe, and environment-friendly public infrastructure facilities aimed at improving the life of every Filipino, Department Order 110 Series 2024, implementation of the ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department is in effect. Bidders classified under pickup size range for large A with ARCC more than 300 million but less than 450 million, the effectivity of the said requirement will be on January 1, 2025. For medium B, more than 150 million but less than 300 million, the effectivity will be on July 1, 2025. And for medium A, with more than 30 million but less than 150 million, the effectivity will be on January 1, 2026. Department Order 118 Series of 2024. Guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers. Assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the implementation of DPWH projects shall be observed. Bidders are reminded of the following classification and limits of assignment. Project Engineer 2, 10 contracts located within the same province for simultaneous assignment, each costing more than 150 M. Project Engineer 1, 11 contracts located within the same province for simultaneous assignment, each costing 100 M to 150 M. Provisional Project Engineer, 10 contracts located within the same province, simultaneous assignment, each costing less than 100 M. Guidelines on the implementation of early procurement activities, EPA. Prospective bidders and all concerned are informed that this procurement project is undertaken through early procurement activities, EPA, pursuant to Appendix 31, Guidelines on the Implementation of Early Procurement Activities of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation of RA 9184 updated as of January 15, 2024 and GPPB Circular Number 6, 2019. Due process and implementation. This shall include but not limited to the rules and procedure of EPA, fixed price rule in procurement, extension of bid validity and security, validity of eligibility requirements prior to the award of contract, conditions of award, and date of earliest delivery.
Meron po bang tanong? Since we have no other matters to discuss, this pre-bid conference for today is now adjourned.